Hey, how's it going, sex felines? My name is CJ or M.C.I.K. Welcome back to another Warframe video. This is B.O.T.W Builds of the Week, the show where I basically show you guys a build once a week, whether it be a Kubro, Sentinel, Warframe, weapon, one of those three, and basically go in depth on it a little bit, talk about the stats a little bit, talk about its pros and cons, show you guys the build, and then do a little bit of stress testing, and that's about it. This week's weapon is going to be on the Ferrox, which is a recently added weapon into Warframe, the second spear gun in its kind. Actually, the second one, period. The one before this was the Javelok, and everyone seemed to enjoy it quite a bit. This one, in my opinion, is a little bit better than the original one, the Javelok. The other one has base damage at fire, and the good thing about the Ferrox, actually, is that it has raw damage. It has impact damage, puncture, and slash. Not to mention, it just have a 30% critical chance at base. So you guys know me, I love the criticals. I can't stand not building for criticals. I love it a lot. The other one, though, the Javelok does have more status chance. This one, Ferrox, only has 10%. So there are pros and cons to either one. And, you know, it's more of like a pick and choose which one you like better, which one do you like, you know, do you perform more crits, do you perform more status? It's all about personal preference, really. I mean, the Javelok has more status, so that's great, and the Ferrox has more crits, so that's great as well. So it's all about what you like, you know, what you like best. Preferably, though, I like the Ferrox a little bit more than the Javelok, but that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, guys, today we're going to go into the build and show you guys a little bit of stress testing as well. So anyway, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is the Ferrox. So as you guys know, it is a spear gun, so that means there will be two functions to firing with this weapon. Of course, the first one will be its normal firing function, and the second one will be throwing this thing and having a certain effect, kind of like the other one does, the Javelok. So you can either choose to discharge a rail of ionized death, which is basically the main firing mechanism, you know, just shooting out a beam. And the beam is really cool because when you kill an enemy, they kind of dissolve into like energy, which looks really cool. You can do that, or the second one is throwing the Ferrox like a spear, and basically wherever the Ferrox is, it will create a small localized field of energy, electricity, kind of like Tesla's, and they will attract the nearby enemies and pull them in, kind of like not letting them leave. And also after a couple amount of seconds, I think it's like 5 seconds or less than that, it will deal damage to them. The alternate fire mechanism isn't that great. I think later on it'll be better when they add the stats forward. But who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. However, the main fire mechanism is great. At base, it does 35 impact damage, puncture at 245, and slash at 70, which is pretty damn high for all of these. It is a charge, and it does charge a little bit slower than the Javelok does the other spear gun. But the accuracy is pretty nice at 16%, fire rate is at 1.33, and the criticals are at 30%, which is really high. And like I said, guys, I love critical weapons, and this is just definitely one of those weapons that I'm just gonna love and enjoy using. The critical multiplier is 2.5, which is not too bad, not too good. Status is a little bit on the low side at 10%, which is it's not that big of a deal. You don't want to add stat mods in this thing. You can always add more pure element damage mods, like the 90% element damage mods. That's what I did for my build. I'll get into that in a little bit when we get into the building. Magazine is fairly large at 10, which is good. You want to reload for a while, and when you do, the reload is only 1.8 seconds, which is really not too bad. The trigger is charged, like I said, once again, and the charge rate is 0.50. All around, really good stats at base. With modding on this thing, it's going to be a little bit tricky because you will have to put some forma into it. But I mean, personally, I put 5 forma into my build, but that's just optional. You can always put less and use maybe element stat mods. In this case, I wanted to go out with full damage and element damage, so I made Corrosive on this build and basically put on more 90% damage mods. Now, talking about the looks of the Ferrox, honestly, it looks a little bit better than the Javelok does. I know the Javelok looks pretty nice. I really like the metallics on this one, the Corpus look of it, the Corpus metallic look of it, and, you know, coloring it gold can look really good with certain frames like Vauban in this case, if you guys are seeing that. I really like that. The energy color looks awesome. The beam effect looks really cool, especially when you're charging it up. The sound effects are really nice as well. Wanted to mention that. These are just some more honorable mentions. I don't want to go too in depth on the looks and the sounds, but still, just wanted to mention that those are very nice, and I do appreciate the small little details, DE. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into this week's B.O.T.W Builds of the Week for the Ferrox, which is going to be number 35, 36, I don't know, one of those numbers. I'll have it in the title. I keep track of that. I just don't keep track of it on actual recordings because I'm an idiot. But anyway, here we go. So the Corrosive is going to be the main damage type here. We're going to be going for Corrosive, and then of course Punctures is up there pretty high too as well. But yeah, we'll go over the modding right now. Like I said, it is a 5-form build. It comes pre-installed with a V polarity and a D polarity. D polarity is at the bottom left, and a V polarity is at the top left. So what I did was I switched around the D polarity for a slash polarity. I added 1, 2, 3, 4 V polarities here, right here, and yeah, that's it. Just switch this for a slash, from the D to the slash, and then 4 V polarities here, and that fit on everything I needed to fit on. So we'll start off with serration, so this is gonna be main damage, and then we have heavy caliber for more damage. The accuracy really is not that bad. It was a 16 accuracy, it takes it down to 11. I don't think it's that bad. I'm still able to hit all my headshots if I need to. And at longer range, it really doesn't even affect it. I've done some shots at long range and still was able to get those kills and get the headshots too. So it doesn't seem to affect it that much. Anyway, we have a split chamber as well for more multi-shot, which will add two beams when they shoot off. It'll be 2, so you'll be able to double the crits, which is beautiful. And basically just all around more damage in general. So these are going to be our main damage mods up here. Now, moving on to crits, we're going to have Point Strike and Vital Sense. These are going to be our crit mods. We have Critical Chance and Critical Damage. That will bring it up to a 75% Critical Chance, which is very nice. It's kind of almost like a bow. Like, that's a pretty damn high Critical Chance, to be honest. And then the crit multiplier will be 5.0, which, you know, it's not crazy high. Maybe if I got a ribbon for this mod. Oh, if I got a ribbon for this mod, oh my god, that'd be amazing. I would definitely switch it out with high voltage, because this mod's just kind of in there for more damage. So hey man, if you got a Ferrox ribbon mod that you don't want, I'll freaking buy it from you. I swear to God. Anyway, moving on to element damage, we have Stormbringer and Infected Clip. This is going to be toxic damage, and this is going to be electric damage, making us giving the combo for Corrosive. And then I threw on high voltage for status chance and electricity damage, just to basically to add more Corrosive to the mix. And also, why not add a little bit of status, you know? A little bit of status can't hurt. But anyway, guys, that is the build. And if you want to go up against different factions with this, if you'll say you want to copy this and go up against different factions, what you can always do is take off, I believe, let's say you want to go up against Corpus. Just switch out cryo rounds for Infected Clip, and there you go. You got magnetic damage, or let's say you want gas instead. So heat and toxic damage makes our gas damage. Now, I was kind of hesitant on putting on high voltage. I did think about putting on like a speed, like a fire rate mod. If this is optional. If you want to put this on, you're more than welcome to. Shred. Shred actually works pretty damn well here as well. It does take the corrosive down just a little bit, but it adds fire rate and punch through, which are both very good things to have. So it's up to you. Would you want more fire rate or more damage? Personally, I went with more damage, but I kind of switched off these here and there and try them out both on different missions. So, you know, they're both pretty good builds. It's whatever you guys might like. But anyway, like I said, if I get a ribbon mod, I'm definitely going to be putting it here in this place right here, because this is the kind of like the one spot that I have open for anything else. So yeah, I am hoping to God I get a ribbon mod for the Ferrox. Anyway, guys, this is the build, and yeah, that's about it. Now we're going to do a little bit of testing in the simulation room and see how it does against some high-level heavy gunners and some bombards and see how that goes. Alright, so we're going to start off with we'll do all the factions, so you guys have an example for all of them. So we're going to start off, of course, with a Corrosive. So we're going to do heavy gunners. So let's go find myself a corrupted heavy gunner, and we'll do the highest rank, because why not? I mean, I could do 100. Whatever, I'll do 100. I'll do 100. This isn't going to be end game at all, but if you want to, I mean, a ribbon mod will help it out a lot, but there won't be end game by any means. There we go, and here we go. There we go. 3 shots, roughly, give or take. The corrosive was taking effect, and then those are all headshots as well. So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, not too bad. Well, let's try it against the 130. Why not? I mean, it was fast enough. I wanted it to be a little bit slower, so we'll do it against the 130 and see how it does. Let's see if we don't die. Okay, there we go. Sorry, it's the wrong band build. Here we go. Level 130 heavy gunner. All right, I'm seeing those nice juicy crits. Oh, oh god, no, 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 no. So yeah, a little bit slower. Corrosive just took effect. Okay, cool stuff. There we go. Took a little bit longer, but like I said, it's not the best build. A ribbon mod would be really helpful on this build. Maybe for more crit damage or more crit chance. One of those two would be so helpful, so I'm really hoping to get one really soon. But yeah, not too bad against the corrupted heavy gunner, level 130. Alright, now we're going to try this against Corpus. So I switched over to the magnetic build, which is cold damage and electric damage. So we're going to try it out against we'll do a Corpus Tech, level 130. And I will have to probably try to really be careful because this guy's going to destroy me by the time I get close to him. Oh, wow. There we go. Okay. There we go. 3 shots, give or take. Not too bad. The magnetic really does work quite well. I think gas would really be good for Corpus as well, to be honest. Let's give that a go. Why don't we? Because why not? So we'll put on gas, see how that does once again against the Corpus tech. Just want to do a little bit of testing. There's a little bit of stress testing, you know? All right, here we go. Oh, 2 shots. Okay, well, Corpus may be a little bit more vulnerable to gas damage. So, gas is not too bad. All right, now we're going to try to get some Infested. An Ancient Disruptor, which is going to be level 130. And we switched over back to the Corrosive build. And I should be able to one-shot this little boy. And let's see how it goes. Oh, how dare you. Stand still and look pretty for me. Holy crap, he just got launched. Here we go. Ooh. Nice. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching this week's B.O.T.W Builds of the Week. And feel free to leave a like down below if you guys did enjoy the video. And yeah, thank you for watching. Share with your friend if they want a good build for the Ferrox. It is a little bit hefty, 5 forma. But if you want to try it for yourself, then go for it. Put some form on this bitch and level that shit up. Now, we'll take some, leveling. So if you want some good places to farm for XP, I have a video just for that. So I'll leave that at the end of this video. Thank you for watching, though. I will see you guys for tomorrow's video. Have a sexy, beautiful day. Stay sexy, stay cool, and peace out.
There goes a sight from my soul.